Chapter 21: International Solidarity and the New Global South Movement. In an era dominated by unequal globalization, debt traps, and corporate imperialism, no nation can liberate itself in isolation. The custodianship republic must not only transform its own systems, but actively participate in building a new global South movement, a collective of states, peoples, and movements seeking a fair, multipolar, post capitalist world order. This chapter outlines the foreign policy, international alliances, and solidarity strategies necessary for defending and expanding the custodianship agenda on the world stage. 1. Rebuilding the spirit of Bandung. In 1955, leaders from Africa and Asia met in Bandung, Indonesia, to declare a united front against colonialism and Western domination. Today, that spirit must be reborn. Key actions: call for a new Bandung type summit among progressive global South nations, Africa, Latin America, Southeast Asia, and Caribbean. Draft a declaration of South sovereignty and solidarity to defend against debt colonialism, resource plunder, and IMF World Bank conditionality. Create a permanent global South Assembly, separate from the UN system, to coordinate joint actions on climate, trade, and development. 2. Exit the neo-colonial financial order. The IMF, World Bank, and credit rating agencies operate as enforcers of global capitalism, demanding austerity, privatization, and debt repayment at the expense of sovereignty and public welfare. Policy directions: initiate a full audit of South Africa's national debt to determine odious colonial era and illegitimate loans. Suspend or repudiate debts that violate human rights and constitutional economic obligations. Lead in creating a global South Development Bank, a people first alternative to the IMF World Bank. Campaign for a new international reserve currency that reduces dependency on the US dollar. 3. Strategic alliances beyond the West. While maintaining diplomatic relations with all, the custodianship republic should prioritize partnerships based on equity, technology transfer, and mutual development, not profit and domination. Alliances to build. Deepen ties with BRICS nations, particularly in creating alternative payment systems and trade agreements. Strengthen cooperation with ALBA, Latin America, ASEAN, Asia, and AU, African Union, on shared development goals. Pursue bilateral tech transfer and land reform knowledge exchanges with countries like Venezuela, Cuba, Bolivia, and Rwanda. Encourage joint peacekeeping and anti coup protocols to defend democratic governments against foreign sponsored destabilization. 4. Africa must lead itself. Africa is not a charity case. It is a continent of potential, rich in youth, culture, minerals, and untapped markets. But only a united, decolonized, and sovereign Africa can realize that future. Africa centric priorities. Accelerate the building of the African Continental Free Trade Area, AFCFTA, with pro poor industrial policies and public oversight. Support a Pan African Parliament with teeth, capable of holding multinational corporations and foreign militaries accountable. Push for continental food sovereignty, ending dependence on GMO seeds and foreign agrogiants. Initiate a continental land registry and minerals database for full transparency and equitable management of national wealth. Natural wealth. 5. A foreign policy of the people. Foreign policy must not be the exclusive domain of elites. In a custodianship system, the people shape the country's international relationships through democratic processes. Democratic foreign policy measures. Establish a People's Foreign Affairs Council with elected representatives from trade unions, student bodies, rural cooperatives, and faith organizations. Subject major foreign treaties to public consultation or referendum. Mandate public transparency of foreign aid, military cooperation, and trade deals. Encourage diaspora participation in reshaping the country's global mission and resource strategies. 6. Global advocacy for custodianship governance. The world is hungry for a new model of governance. The custodianship republic must export ideas, not control, and become a lighthouse of post capitalist democracy. Global Advocacy Plan. Launch an institute for decolonial governance and custodianship studies, partnering with universities and social movements globally. Offer technical and political training to other movements pursuing land reform, public control of resources, and economic democracy. Lead campaigns at international forums, COP, UNHRC, WTO, for climate reparations, debt cancellation, and tech justice. Sponsor an annual global custodianship forum for leaders, activists, and academics from across the world to co create new pathways of justice and equality. Conclusion of Chapter 21. The custodianship republic cannot afford neutrality in an unjust world. Our survival depends on our solidarity. By leading the new Global South movement, South Africa can help awaken a planetary majority to reclaim their land, labor, and lives from the grip of profit. From Cape to Cairo, Caracas to Calcutta, a new era of cooperation, dignity, and justice can be born, one where the people of the world become custodians of their shared future.